Hello everybody on the YouTube world. Shout out to Mr. Beef for all the videos you put out on the 318s and all the other John Deere vintage tractors. It's just been amazing what you have done for me to inspire me. Well, I'm going to try this video myself just to show how I can change the transmission seals without having to take off the entire front cover, the front area here. I do have a gasket for that, although all I want to do is change this seal, swash plate seal, the input seal, and then the other swash plate seal on this side. Like I say, I do have a gasket for the front cover, so I'll get into it and hopefully I can get away with slipping the seals on and off of them shaft areas. The front charge pump is easy enough. I've had it off already. To replace that seal is going to be a lot easier. I just want to mention though, these input shafts, it goes right through to the back for output. That's $1,500 John Deere pricing. I don't want to replace it, although it is quite, it doesn't feel worn, but when you put the dry shaft on there, I have enough play just to concern me. I see when it's running how it wobbles. It actually has enough play this way, but when it's going, it's actually got a lot of wobble back and forth. And it actually, I think, is why my engine, when I was taking it apart, had a broken left front foot. Well, to begin with, I bought the seals for the input shaft here and the two for the trunnion swash plate. John Deere wanted $50 for this one and they wanted $25 each for these two. I cross-referenced their number and found the CR SKF seals for, I think it was $8 and $7 and $7. It was pretty inexpensive compared to the OEM stuff. So you got to shop around and they're a regular. Well, the first thing you have to do is, of course, get rid of the shaft. It's got a roll pin inside of it, a spring pin, and then it's just basically wired through. And I'm going to get rid of that right now. I won't let you watch me struggle, and I will be right back when I get that off. Well, I got the wire out, which is good and simple, and I'm just trying to take a look and make a note of where this is supposed to be. It's obviously on the downside and you probably can't put it back on wrong. Now I'll just pound out this roll pin, spring pin in here and see if I can't get that out. And it looks like I got that out pretty good. Probably could reuse that again. And then off with the shaft, or the lever for the shaft. So orientation, I could make a mistake, but no, I'm going to make sure I put it back on in the right direction. I might just give that a couple taps on top to orientate a spot that it needs to go back on. Once the lever is removed, there's actually a little clip, C-clip, that's holding this washer in place. I put a towel behind it so that I don't lose this clip when it comes off. I'm just going to try a pair of pliers and see if I get both ends at the same time and just bunt it off. Oh, there it comes now. There, it fell out. That's good. Usually they go flying across the room and you'll never find them again. But anyways, I got that out. So now I'll pull the washer off. And don't think it matters which way it goes, but well, looking at it closely, it is the same number. It's a 6763 CR seal. And so I'm happy that that's the right one. I just make a note, I do not have any up and down play on this. I do have the swash plate coming back and forth. I don't know if there's any thrust washers on the inside of this that but it seems like it's not been a problem going up and down, so I think we're still relatively okay. Just replacing that seal, freshen it up. It's been on there for darn near 1,000 hours. So let's get to work on trying to get that out. The method I'm going to use to get the seal out is to drill 2 small holes, one on either side, and then put a couple screws in, and then have some leverage with the screws to pop the seal out with. I've selected a drill bit that is smaller than the thread diameter of the screw itself, so that it'll purchase, when it goes in, it can screw in and purchase the tin. I'm going small enough right now so I avoid the sides and the shaft. If I could drill straight in just enough just to make a hole in the outer tin of the seal, because behind that is a needle bearing, and so you can see here that there is a bit of an area in back there that you could just drive a screw through without really hurting or touching anything on the inside. So I'm going to put them in there. I'll drill the holes, and once I get the screws in there, we'll come back on here and show you what's happening. Now the camera will just sit there. I'm going to put a hole here. Go the right way. A little bit close to the edge. If you don't like it, you can always start a new spot, but I think I'm okay. You don't want to get into the outside bore where the seal goes. Oh, of course my drill bit got loose now. There, through. One. I'll tighten that up. Tighten that up. And I'll put one on the opposite side so you can get an even pull on it. There wasn't any, there I hit the bottom, so you can hit the bottom. That's hitting that inner land, probably the roller bearing cage a little bit, but we're not drilling through nothing, so there's no issues with that. I will remove the screws from the previous seal. I'll get rid of these. I'll use these very ones here, and utilize them again. So in we go. Just easy pressure. Just let the threads do the work. And it's going in, a bit of a goofy angle, but I'm not driving it towards the shaft or the outer housing. One in. Okay, so this one's going to go in nice. It'll go in, and it won't scar the outside of the housing area. Just enough to get some purchase on the metal ring of the seal. Okay, so now we'll just give this a quick little pop. Oh, that one wants to pop right out. This one, nope, that one came out nice. I'm going to just screw that other one in a little bit more because it seems to want to pull the screw threads out, and then I'm just going to give her another pop, and then there she is. Just as easy as that. I'll take a look here. You can see that I never actually got into touching the seal area on the shaft, nor I went through and scoring the outside of the house. Again, you can see where I just touched when I came through with the drill bit, or maybe the screw itself when I was going in, but that land area is not an issue. The seal is actually formed on the outside of the bore, nothing on the inside, and I'm not touching the cage a bunch, and nothing concerned about. But it is possible to drill right through the other side if you really are over ambitious and not careful. So, okay, I'll put the new seal in. Again, I'm just gonna prep the seal, make sure that the spring doesn't pop out when I'm driving it in. And just wipe a little bit of grease into that spring area on the inside, so when you do start driving it, this little one probably not so much of a matter, but you get the bigger ones and you end up hammering on things, and it does have a chance to pop that spring right out of that lip area, and you haven't got any tension on the lip, and you wonder why your seal's leaking. Besides, now the spring is off and it's all over the place and it's getting in there and grinding up. But that's all you need to do, is just add a little bit of grease to capture that spring. Lubricated the shaft a little bit and set the seal in place. There is the O-ring or the snap ring C-clip groove there. Concerns me a little bit, but I think there's enough lube that when I end up putting it all in place, it won't, it'll pop right over that and be okay. Just going to do the outer edge of this seal again here with some Permatex, so that, yeah, such a big brush and small area, it looks pretty bad, but it'll do the trick. So now I will just take the hammer and the selected socket I got and put things in place here. That flushes it up. Let's get rid of some of that goo on there. Before it becomes an issue, keeping it away from the shaft. It's already, see how it's already tacky looking, that Permatex stuff. It really does a nice job filling in the voids of any imperfections and such in the shaft or the outer diameter. I don't think that's in quite far enough, but now I can see what's going on, so I'm just going to finish it up here. And I'm going to finish it up with a smaller diameter socket that just will be able to touch the seal itself, and I'll try and bottom it into that. There, I feel it going in, yeah. You can hear it bouncing nicely. It's flush all the way around, deep enough into the groove, and we made it by the snap ring land without the seal. Looks like nothing peeled backwards, or there's nothing extra on it. So yeah, I'll clean that up, reassemble the other best, I guess it's called the thrust washer, and the we got the washer back in place. Shaft is pulled my way, and I'll just slip in this C-clip here. Voila. And that's it. That's where you have it. I gotta again give a shout out to Mr. Beef and all his great videos on these equipment here. Yeah, it inspires you to tackle something that you've not done before. So I appreciate that. I think doing this, I haven't seen this on any of the videos anywhere where you could just replace the seals without knocking the front cover off. And so I thought I'd just provide this one to show that it is possible. And Sunstrand again says that it is the way to do it. You just go ahead and do what we've just done now, without, like John Deere says, knock the cover off, pull the kits out, the pump and the motor kits, and then knock the shafts out and go through all that. If your seal's not leaking in the front here, your gasket's not leaking in the front, go ahead and do this. Well, thanks for watching. I hope this helped, and have yourself a great day.